Welcome back to our podcast, Life Under the Moon. I am your host, Samy B, and today we are celebrating the full moon in Capricorn. It is the strawberry full moon. It is June, and yesterday was the summer solstice of 2024. I hope you guys all celebrated. Maybe you started a new tradition. Maybe you relived an old one. I personally went and had a bonfire and invited good friends and sat around, had some drinks, told ghost stories, and just watched the stars. And I did see a lucky shooting star. Watched the moon come up. It was a perfect evening. It was warm but chilly, clear sky, just perfect. The full moon theme for today and the next 2 weeks is all about forgiving and understanding our inner child. Now, what exactly does that mean? Think back to your childhood. There's probably a lot of things that you wish you could tell yourself. And one of those things is forgiveness. And today's topic is probably one of the most controversial topics we are going to discuss on the podcast, which is cheating. Yes, we are talking about cheating in relationships. Now, the reason why I wanted to discuss this with you was because I was listening to another podcast. And okay, for any of you people who may be under 18, maybe this episode isn't for you. But anyone else, feel free to keep listening. They said that it is possible that genetically the male's penis is shaped like a mushroom head because it is to scoop out the last male's cum that was in a woman, and his sperm would then be fertile and his genetics would then get passed on versus the other guy. Now, when I heard that, I thought that was pretty weird sounding, but it made me think, hold on, that woman was normal to be with 2 or more men. Why? Well, let's look back at society. Why did we all say all of a sudden you can only have one person and be with one person and one person only? Who made that up? I'm not saying go out and have 10 boyfriends or girlfriends. I'm not saying any of this. I'm more or less posing the question, why do we make such rules for society? And do we ever stop and ask ourselves why? When I heard that fact on the podcast, and it may or may not be true, it's not really proven, it made me think that as humans, as just the human species, that genetically we were never really born or created to be with one person at one time. It was actually quite normal to be with other people, and there was no rules or anything before religion that said that you couldn't. Nobody told you it was right, and nobody told you it was wrong. So I'm not at all saying, okay, as a disclaimer, I'm not at all saying go and cheat on your spouse because that's what our internal instincts tell us to do. But what I'm saying is that cheating is a very common thing in society, and everybody always associates it with being a bad thing. And I always heard the term, once a cheater, always a cheater, and things like that. This episode is about forgiveness. If you've been cheated on, or if you've cheated on somebody, this is the time to forgive. Whichever side of the spectrum you're on, I want you to forgive. Whether you were hurt or you did the hurting. Now, I'm not saying that it makes it right just because it's in our genetics, and I'm not justifying anyone's actions, but it did get me thinking that society makes us do things without us questioning. And if you're one of those people who maybe cheated on their partner and you regret it every single moment of your life, I want you to forgive yourself, because there is a lot more to this planet than we realize. And there's a lot more to us as humans and nature than we realize. So I'm not saying that what you did was right, or I'm not saying that what someone did to you was right, but I'm saying forgive yourself and move on. Do better, be better, and do what's right for you. Do what you believe is right. and everything will turn out for the best. Now, I understand that this is a very controversial thing, so I hope you guys understand that I am in no way saying that this is right or wrong. I am simply saying that it got my wheels turning in my weird brain to think, wait, who made the rule that we're only supposed to be with one person? So if you slip up and you make a mistake, hey, forgive yourself. I'm not saying this is a get out of jail free card, but I am saying that this is a great opportunity to sit down, reflect, and forgive. All right, guys, this is the part of the episode where we take somebody's wish and we're going to all manifest for that wish to come true. Now, I am going to take my wish of wishing that all of my really difficult work situations that I'm going through and dealing with right now will seamlessly work themselves out very hopefully shortly, but eventually will work themselves out completely. So if we all want to manifest this wish together for this person, for myself, let's make the world a better place with our life under the moon.